Hello, and welcome to the premiere episode of the Lake Orion Sports Update. I'm your host, Kevin McCormick. Coming up, we will have stories from the Lake Orion fall sports season, including football, soccer, volleyball, and more. The boys varsity soccer team has been keeping busy playing 4 games in the last 2 weeks. On September 15th, the Dragons traveled to Royal Oak to take on the Ravens. The game stayed close the whole night until number 13, Connor Sturgis, scored for Lake Orion. That was the lone goal of the night, giving Lake Orion the win. The Dragons boys hosted a home game on September 17th against the Avondale Yellow Jackets. The game's first goal came in the first minute of the game when Dragon number 13, Connor Sturgis, scored from the corner. The game's second goal came at the 31:50 mark of the first half when Yellow Jacket number 7, Dante White, found the back of the net after a nice pass by number 2, David Killewald, and the game ended up tied 1-1. Lake Orion then faced off against the Clarkston Wolves on Tuesday, September 22nd. The OAA crossover match ended in a 0-0 tie. Lake Orion created several scoring chances during the game. Their best chance of scoring came at the 5-minute 30 mark when Sheldon Drake pierced the Wolves' defenses and took a shot at the goal. Clarkston goalkeeper Connor Sajan managed a sliding stop, preventing the goal. Both teams' goalkeepers ended up making 6 saves each, showing exactly how closely matched the teams were. The Lake Orion Dragons went up against the Oxford Wildcats on September 24th in a tense match that ended in a tied game. Both teams had fair possession of the ball. In the first half, Oxford senior captain Greg Knox scored the first goal of the game. The first half ended with Oxford in the lead by 1. In the second half, Lake Orion came back with another goal that tied the game at 1-1. However, we would not see another goal for the remainder of the game, which left us tied with a score of 1-1. As always, more soccer games coming your way. Stay tuned to ONTV Channel 10 and on demand on our YouTube channel at OnTV.org. Check out our program guide for replay dates and times. The girls varsity golf team has been experiencing some very good results as of late. The Lady Dragons golf team celebrated one of their teammates for an amazing accomplishment. Senior Lauren Danielson scored a hole-in-one in August while playing against Troy at Twin Lakes Golf Course. On the first hole, Danielson scored a birdie, but the second hole was where the magic happened. Her drive never touched the green as it landed directly in the cup. Her 120-yard drive is definitely something to be proud of. It's no surprise that Lake Orion is ranked second in the coaches' polls with talent like hers. On September 16th, the Lake Orion golf team competed in the Oakland County Tournament. This year's tournament was incredibly close with only 9 strokes separating the top 7 teams. Lake Orion took home the first place trophy thanks to the team's hard work. Lauren Danielson with a score of 83, Cameron Coltrane 87, Lindsay Welpner 89, and Megan Miller 92 were all key in Lake Orion's victory. The performance of Lake Orion Jr. Moya Russell is what helped push the team from 4th place to 1st. Her score of 68 tied for the record held by Rochester Stony Creek's Devin Compton in 2009. Lake Orion finished the tourney with an overall score of 327, followed by Novi with 328 and Rochester with 329. Moya Russell achieved the best score individually, along with Rochester's Veronica Hake with 72 and Rochester Stony Creek's Lauren Engel with 74. The girls' swim and dive team recently held a meet against Seaholm on September 17th. The first event was a 200-yard medley relay. Lake Orion placed 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Eliana Ritt, Nicole Horvath, Zoe Quinn, and Katharina Sersney are all members of the 3rd place team with a time of 2 minutes. Next was a 200-yard freestyle. Lake Orion's Claire Abassi took first with a time of 1 minute 57 seconds, and Hannah Quinn placed 6th. The third event was the 200-yard IM. Lake Orion's Sarah Hennings placed 3rd with a time of 2 minutes 20 seconds. Nicole Horvath placed 5th, and Amanda Keller placed 6th. After that was the 50-yard freestyle. Lake Orion's Kirsten Abassi took second with a time of 25.37 seconds. Zoe Quinn took fifth, and Michaela Collins took sixth. Diving split up the swimming action next, and Lake Orion's Abigail Slater placed second with a total score of 175.6 points. Jessica McCollum placed fourth, Savannah Papp took seventh, and Kate Mara took eighth. Lake Orion's Hennings took first in the 100-yard butterfly with a time of 57.88 seconds. Ritt finished in fifth place, and Aaron Barrow placed sixth. In the 100-yard freestyle, Lake Orion's Kirsten Abassi took first with a time of 54.23 seconds. Thursday finished fifth, and Claire Wojno finished sixth. In the 200-yard freestyle relay, there was a tie for first place. Seaholm's team and Lake Orion's team tied with a time of 1 minute 41.97 seconds. Kirsten Abassi, Zoe Quinn, and Hennings were the swimmers for Lake Orion. In the 100-yard backstroke, Lake Orion's Zoe Quinn placed fourth, Thursday placed fifth, and Collins placed sixth. In the 400-yard freestyle relay, Lake Orion's Kirsten Abassi, Claire Abassi, Sarah Hennings, and Emily Diener placed second. Unfortunately, the Dragons lost to Seaholm High School with a total score of 122 points to 64. The cross-country season is in full swing, and Lake Orion's runners are making their mark on the courses around Oakland County. On Saturday, September 19th, high school and middle school runners took part in the Nike Holly Invitational at Springfield Oaks Park. The conditions for the race were just what cross-country runners love: wet and muddy. Under rainy conditions, teams from as far away as Bad Axe and as far south as Hillsdale converged for this major competition. The middle school and junior high runners were off the block first for their 3,000-meter race. For many racers, this was their first ever competition. The Lake Orion Middle School girls were very strong, with two making the medal podium. Sophie Novak from Scripps Middle School placed second overall, with Abby Locke from Walden taking fourth with a time of 12 minutes, 15 seconds. A strong Oakview Middle School squad also put in some fast times and continue their reign as one of the top teams in all of Oakland County. With the county meet a short few weeks away, these athletes will be primed for another strong showing on the county stage. The Dragon varsity boys and girls also took part in this meet, putting in some solid performances that reflect their depth and standing as one of the top programs in the OAA. The Dragon men were dominant from top to bottom in their lineup, rolling to a first-place team victory with 65 points. Lakeland was third with 110 points, while Rochester Adams managed 112 to round out the top three. Top performers for Lake Orion were Andrew Laurent, who was second overall, Jacob Arends, who was fourth, and Matthew Arends, who finished 11th overall. For the varsity's women's team, the Dragons put in another solid performance with a second-place team finish with 69 points. Rochester Adams was just 8 points ahead of the Lady Dragons, led by senior Emily Fluent with a sixth-place overall finish. Junior Belina Gasky with a ninth-place finish, and ninth grader Allison Sherman's 11th-place finish. The Dragons look strong in their third meet of the year. Coach Ford and Coach McDonald both have their teams primed for another strong season. Stay tuned to this program for further race highlights and results. The Dragons varsity volleyball team continued to achieve positive results during the last couple of weeks. Dragons varsity volleyball team traveled to Stony Creek on September 17th. Lake Orion swept the Cougars in all three sets. The first set was 25-18, second set was 25-15, and the third 25-14. The Dragons then traveled to the Portage Invitational on September 19th. The Invitational consisted of several non-league matches. Lake Orion first faced the Hazlitt Vikings, defeating them with a score of 2-0. Then they went on to play the Kellogg Panthers, taking the match also 2-0. Their winning streak continued, defeating the Rockford Rams and the Romeo Bulldogs, shutting out both teams. The streak was ended when the Saline Hornets took the win 2-0. Lake Orion's next match would be at home against Rochester Adams on Thursday, September 24th. The Dragons pushed hard and kept a fast pace during the match, taking the win with a score of 3-0. The first set was won with a score of 25-13, the second set was 25-16, and the third was 25-9. The match left Lake Orion with an overall season record of 37-2 and a league record of 4-0. Here are the current standings in the OAA Red League. The Lake Orion Dragons headed into the annual battle with their crosstown rivals, the Oxford Wildcats, with a 1-2 record. The Wildcats failed to score a point in their 2 losses. Could they turn things around in the battle for the Double-O trophy? Minutes into the first quarter, Lake Orion's Danny White hits running back Wyatt Harden, forcing the fumble. The ball is recovered by the Dragons' Drew Casey on their own 45-yard line. On the Dragons' first play from scrimmage, quarterback Caden Priestcorn hands off to Keith Fields, and he's gone. Fields goes 55 yards for Lake Orion's first touchdown of the night. Caden Priestcorn was only 2 for 4 on the night, but one of those completions went to Jalen Wiggins for a 35-yard touchdown in the second quarter. The extra point was good. Lake Orion 14, Oxford 0. In the third quarter, with the ball on Lake Orion's 40-yard line, Keith Field breaks off another huge run to pad his stats. He goes 47 yards to Oxford's 13-yard line. 2 plays later, Field finishes the drive with a 10-yard touchdown run with 10 minutes, 17 seconds left in the third. The extra point was missed. Dragons 20, Oxford nothing. Later in the third, Fields catches a pass from Priestcorn and takes it to Oxford's 21-yard line. On the next play, Fields is tackled at the 5 to set up a 1st and goal. Fields makes it into the end zone for the 3rd time. The 2-point conversion attempt failed, but the Dragons were on their way to a rout, 26-0 Lake Orion. Later in the third, the Wildcat punt is down by the Dragons on their own 42-yard line. Fields adds another 35 yards to his total of 207 yards on the night. Junior Chris Wilson got into the fun with a 23-yard touchdown of his own to put the Dragons ahead 33-0. Wow.
Touchdown, Lake Orion. Number 42, Junior Chris Wilson.
We're here with Coach Bell, who just joined the post-game program. Coach, great game.
Thank you.
36-0. It's always nice to hold the opponent to nothing.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about your feelings about tonight's performance.
You know, Oxford gives you a good test because they're going to play old-fashioned power football, and you just don't see that as much. So we had to see if we could stand in there and give it right back to them, and the guys responded. You know, we bent a little bit early on defense, but we made plays and we kept them out of the end zone. And offensively, our guys are really starting to gel. You know, really starting to go.
We were saying that the defense was almost like a bend but don't break defense against that power and dive they were running all night long. Is that a fair characterization?
It is. It was. It's tough to defend. I mean, they just keep coming, and they're very good at what they do, and you just got to hang in there and wear them down, and I think we did that.
So we're here with Keith Fields, the star of the night. I think we're going to call tonight the Keith Fields Show. Multiple touchdowns, a lot of yards running between the tackles, some tough running yards against these Oxford Wildcats. Talk to us a little bit, Keith, about how you feel tonight's performance was for you and the team.
I'm just glad we won the game, to be honest with you. We was 1-2 coming to the game. We lost to Troy Athens and Chippewa Valley against we should lost to. But I'm glad we won the game tonight. We got the trophy back, so that counts.
That means a lot. So talk a little bit about your running style. My observation the past couple of years, you ran a lot of jet sweeps and had kind of on and off success. But this year you're running a lot more between the tackles and getting big chunks of yards and a lot more touchdowns. Talk about the difference for you in running that style.
In practice, we do a lot of the inside, like dive and all that stuff between tackles and stuff like that. So I just try to get bigger over the offseason and all that stuff. Not really. My lineman did a great job tonight, honestly with you. My lineman did a great job.
Unfortunately for the Dragons, the game against West Bloomfield would not go as well on Friday, September 25th. West Bloomfield shut out Lake Orion with a score of 27-0. The Lakers opened up strong, taking the kickoff 75 yards for the touchdown down the field, making the score 6-0 with just over 7 minutes left in the first period. It was not long after that West Bloomfield made the score 13-0 when senior running back Darian Sanders scored from within the 1-yard line with 3 minutes and 59 seconds left in the period. In the second half, Lake Orion fought back, making their way into Laker territory 6 times for scoring chances. However, they were unable to break through the strong defenses. With 8 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the third period, junior running back Davion Johnson scored a 20-yard touchdown. Shortly after, senior quarterback Tristan Jackson upped the score 27-0 with a 79-yard touchdown. The loss leaves Lake Orion with a 2-3 overall record and a 2-2 league record. The Dragons will need to win their final 4 games for a guaranteed playoff spot. Lake Orion's next game will be at home against Stony Creek on October 2nd. ONTV will be there to film the game in its entirety. The latest sports games will air on Comcast Channel 10, AT&T UVerse Channel 99, Tuesdays, Thursdays at 7 p.m. For more information on air times, visit OnTV.org. That's all that we have for this episode of Lake Orion Sports Update. I'm your host, Kevin McCormick, and on behalf of all of us here at ONTV, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.